Welcome back, everybody, to another reading of Sonnets by Shakespeare.
Yeah.
We're going to be reading and discussing Sonnet 94. First, let's hear from Justin Scalise, one of the Austin Shakespeare actors, who will be doing a reading of 94.
They that have power to hurt, and will do none, that do not do the thing they most do show, who, moving others, are themselves as stone, unmoved, cold, and to temptation slow. They rightly do inherit heaven's graces, and husband nature's riches from expense. They are the lords and owners of their faces, others but stewards of their excellence. The summer's flower is to the summer sweet, though to itself it only live and die. But if that flower with base infection meet, the basest weed outbraves his dignity. For sweetest things turn sourest by their deeds. Lilies that fester smell far worse than weeds. Oh, I love this one. And I think this is one of Anne's favorites as well. It says something about power, doesn't it? In the very first line, they that have power to hurt and will do none. Those who will control their power and use their power wisely. They are the lords and owners of their faces, who don't get overly excited and abuse or misuse their power. It's like a beautiful flower, right? A lily. But if that person does misuse that power or abuse that power, it's like a lily that festers. He uses that word, festers, and then it's gross, right? Isn't it? It says something about power and the proper use of power and how we can respect that.
So I know that you and Justin both love this one. I like all of. I'm not in the mood of this one as much as the other ones that I chose, but I like this one a lot. It's a great one. They that have power to hurt and will do none. So it's about power. Mm-hmm. This person's unmoved.
Well, it has a heroic quality, right?
Okay.
And a hero can be powerful, but they don't really hurt anyone, right? They hold back from that. Yes.
Yeah, the peaceful warrior. It's better to be, a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war type thing. You've heard that before?
No.
You never heard that?
No.
Okay, that's a saying that I've heard popularized more today.
Really?
But yeah, and the self-help thing, Jordan Peterson has said it many times.
I see.
Like, it's just the idea that, like, you should be dangerous is his whole concept. You should be capable of dangerous, but being able to hold it and control it back.
Yeah, he's got that who moving others, so you bring emotion to others, are themselves as stone. So it's that cool and removed personality. So I'm not quite sure it's that, meaning
I don't think it is. I think But that first line makes me think of the idea of that person. It is, I think Shakespeare is talking more about the person you're talking about, which is somebody who has power over your life in a sense, right? They do have a power over you emotionally. Mm-hmm. I could think of like a lover.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Someone who really, I don't even know if you have to be with that person.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But
you admire them.
Yeah. Someone you really admire. So if you think about like the kind of grace you can have, this has rarely happened to me, but once in a while, a girl will really like me and I may not be as into her. So there's a question. I know. It's crazy.
No, it happens.
It happens.
I've seen it happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is the next question.
Like, who was it?
Yeah. Who was it? Wait, maybe I didn't know. But the question is like, how do you act in those moments? So I've been on the other side. And I think that the female who I really loved or liked a lot, some of them have been decent. Some of them in terms of how they treated me, some of them have been very cruel in the way that they shut you down or something. Right. So he is saying there's something special about this person who can, am I getting this correct? Do you think like he's saying something about there's a special heavenliness to this person who can not mistreat you in that moment?
Well, it's also unmoved, slow, and to temptation slow. So it's a person who's a little removed.
Okay.
And doesn't do, the important part is they don't do any bad things. I think that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they have the opportunity. So this, You know,
Right.
when
They're powerful.
they like, you know, when a girl likes me, I could say something really mean to her and it could
I
crush
see.
her, but I choose to be good is what
Right.
I guess I was trying to get at
Okay.
earlier. And in the past, like I've had the other way in the reverse. Most girls are very good about it, I think. But I'm just saying once in a while, there could be a cruel thing that a girl
La
does.
dame sans merci.
Yeah.
The woman without mercy.
The belle dame sans mercy. Yeah, the beautiful woman without mercy. Now that's something completely different, but I love that poem. But that's about like actually making love to a woman, falling in love with a woman, but then she just like vanishes and leaves you crushed and desolate. And but I guess there could be some. So okay, I will say that is the same thing. You're right in a different way.
Right.
So we're saying that this is what's great about great poetry is that it can connect different things that you don't think are similar. So there's the lover that you know, the, what's it called? When you love someone, but they don't love you.
Unrequited.
The unrequited love experience. But then there's the love affair experience where they do have like control over your heart, but then they let it go and they're good about it, or that, you know, in a good way.
I see.
Or La Belle Dame Sans Merci, they crush you forever. Which I've been in that before.
Oh.
Well, we've all been in that, right?
Anyway, this poem does end in a positive
Yeah.
way. And I also, when I came today, I talked to Kirk about a beautiful rose outside his door that was sort of a silvery pink. And that's, you know, this ends with that wonderful couplet. For sweetest things turn sourest by their deeds. So if a person who's wonderful does something bad, it's worse than if a jerk does something bad, right?
Well, that's
Lilies that fester smell far worse than weeds. So if this beautiful flower withered, it would be worse than if a dandelion withered.
And I think that is a good lesson to the things we were talking about earlier in terms of the unrequited lover who is mean versus kind, because you don't have an obligation to do this, I don't think. But as a person who has that kind of power over people, this poem being a reminder of why, you know, I'll put it this way, like having good grace is a value. And I think that the value is to you and your character and how you're perceived. That's one value. But there's the other value of what that means is in the mind of the other people around you, including people that because of your value, you love and, or they love you and you want to maintain that without, you know, sacrificing yourself or anything. And I just have to say, like, I think this type of thing is very interesting in the world we live in, where a lot of people are interested in tearing down the images of famous men and women that people love. It seems like there's a special desire some people have. So there was just a hit piece on this guy, Andrew Huberman, the other day. I don't know if it's true. It seems like a lot of heresy. I don't know. But there's like a sickness in the desire to like, we gotta tear this down. Lots of women are in love with this guy and that's bad, right? Or something like that. Yeah. That's the feeling I get from that. And that's this last two lines in a sense, where it's like a kind of desire to make the fester smell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think it's a desire. I think it's just a statement that if a hero falls, it's worse than if an ordinary person.
Well, that's what Shakespeare's saying. But I'm saying there's a desire today in people to make that happen.
I agree.
And I agree that it's worse when it happens. Like it's worse when your hero falls versus the guy next door who's, you know, a drunken slob anyway. Right. Okay, that's enough on 94. But I think that's a good poem.
No, thank you.